Welcome everybody to the presentation. I'm Trevor. I'm going to be your host again, and we're talking again more Twitter tonight. And if this is your first Twitter webinar that you've seen from us, this is the fourth in a series that we've been building. I'll show you guys real briefly over here. Here are the other ones on the YouTube page if you need to see them. Right now, currently number 30, 31, and 32. So if this is your first one, maybe go on back and see some of those other ones. I'm going to make some assumptions though right now. First of all, and I'll just call these are our prereqs, right? So number one, you want to have your business account for Twitter set up. Okay, not your personal account. I guess I maybe should put that. So personal Twitter account set up and used. We want you guys to have a personal Twitter account so you can learn it, but we want you to also set up your business Twitter account, okay? So let's make sure that's set up. I'm making the assumption that it is for a lot of you guys. We're also going to make the assumption that you've designed your Twitter business page, okay? Whoops. Here we go. You've designed your Twitter business page. So it looks professional, and as an example, we've got one tonight that we're going to use. This is one that I've been using in my examples. This is our Mockingjay Pin Twitter account. Let's take a look. This is the one I've been using more recently in these webinars. So this is marketing, just so we all know. I'm not trying to promote this, I promise. This is a store I've owned for several years. Has done considerably well. We're kind of winding it down. We're trying to get out of the business. But it serves as a really good example for my clients. So it's called MockingJayPinStore.com. It sells merchandise for the series The Hunger Games, which a lot of you guys have probably heard of. We sell these. We source them ourselves. We ship them out ourselves. That's what this site is. So we're using Twitter in order to promote this site that sells these pins. We've got some earrings. We've got some necklaces. It mostly sells movie memorabilia for this specific franchise. That's our niche, okay? So you guys, if you guys have never heard of this before, that's fine. It's a very popular movie as of late. I think the next installment in its series comes out in like November, October. I can't remember. I think it's usually November. So usually our sales really ramp up around November, December because of Christmas and the movie. And yes, Megan, we definitely use Facebook for marketing as well. In fact, I'll just show you briefly. Here's our Facebook page for the site. It's got 3,700 likes. We marketed it pretty aggressively for a while and then just stopped, and it's slowly been churning in more likes and more interest, but we never even really update it or use it too much. So anyway, that's for our Facebook, and Facebook will be part of the training for another day. That's just a little bit of background on the business. Okay, so here we go. Back to our notes real quick. So the question is, what now, right? What now? We've got this account. We're ready to do some marketing on Twitter. What do we do at this specific point in time? Well, I'm going to ask you guys, what do we do for marketing right this second? I have alluded to it in a few of our webinars previously. So if you've seen any of these live, you might have some ideas. But what do we do now? We got this account. I know this account's been around since 2012. It says it right here. But I've done very little with it. I've tweeted 129 times. I'm following 35 people. I've got 11 followers and 30 favorites. I haven't done much on the account. So what do we do, right? What's the plan? Now I'll tell you first of all. You want to know what everybody else does when they first open up their account? I'll show you what they do. Let's come up here and click on tweet. They say, come to our store and buy products from us, right? They put their link down. Right? That's what they do. They start to promote themselves. Okay, can I just suggest to you guys, to fight that urge right off the bat, when you open up your Twitter account, you really have no business aggressively promoting yourself at the very beginning, because I can guarantee you that nobody cares. Okay, there are, I mean, probably millions. I don't know for sure. There's 350 million active users on Twitter. There's probably millions of businesses on Twitter, and nobody cares about your business at this point, especially when you have very few followers. Because even if I send out this tweet, I've got what, 11 followers on this account. I might get that out to a few people, but probably not. So rule number one, guys, no aggressive self-promotion, not yet anyway. Don't promote your own stuff yet. Don't start sharing products, and people don't care. They really don't. You need to contribute first, okay? And we need to build our network. So I'm going to say number one here for you guys, under what now? Let's say what to do. Number one, build network, okay? I'm going to do some of that with you guys live on the webinar right now, okay? So here's what I mean by build your network. You need to go out and start following some people, okay? I think in a previous webinar we said, quote unquote, find your people, right? Well, what people are we talking about? We're talking about famous bloggers in your niche, influencers, people who have some authority in your niche, maybe even celebrities in your niche, right? Other businesses in your niche, customers, people you know that are buyers of your product or your type of product that you're offering, which I know can be hard, right? Who's my customer? Well, it's fans of this series. It's pretty easy to identify who my customer is because I have such a specific niche. Your customer may be a little more difficult to identify, so that might not be your strategy as much. Related businesses, maybe, right? So here's probably what I would do first. And Laura, I hear you. Laura just said I mistakenly tried doing that on my Facebook business and got 0 response. Yeah, if you go out there and try to promote yourself, people don't care. Not yet, anyway. You got to build your network first, right? It's like you're in a large crowd of people, and you stand there and start yelling things about your business. Who cares, right? That huge, large crowd of people is there for their own reasons. I don't care about your business, but we can give them a reason to care. So before we get into that, let's find our people first. So here's what I did. I did this a little bit today before the video, but I want to do more with you now. I get on and I search Twitter for influencers and people in my niche. I'm going to find Hunger Games fans. I'm going to find people who like this stuff. Now, like I said, that might be harder for you if your niche is a bit more generic, but that's how I'm going to start on this one. Okay, so here I go. Let's search Twitter here. And by the way, let me make sure I'm caught up on comments here. Yeah, agree, Kirk. Build some serious views first. You know, Matt, I know you don't have your niche picked out yet. Matt just said, you know, how do I determine my product and my niche? You and I will work on that together, and that's what all of you guys should be working on with whomever your mentor is. We'll work on that. In fact, we'll talk about that when we talk next time. But this is, of course, assuming that, you know, you've got your niche picked out, you've got your website, and you're trying to do some marketing. Okay, so let's search Twitter. Now, again, this won't make maybe as much sense for you guys that don't know the franchise very well, but I could go out and I'm just going to look up Hunger Games. I'm going to do a search for it. That's the series, right? Let's come out and let's search for Hunger Games. So when I do a search, I start finding things that are related in Twitter to the Hunger Games, okay? And I'm just going to start following people, okay? I'm going to follow as many people that are related to this as I possibly can to start. Now, here's the interesting thing. Statistically, they say that, and I think this statistic could change based on your business and niche, but they say anywhere between, you know, 1 to 3 out of every 10 people you follow will almost immediately follow you back. So if I can come out here and start finding fans and people who are interested in this specific franchise and follow them, I might start getting follows back. So I'm going to click this one right here. This is Jennifer Lawrence. Now she's the actress, right, for this whole series, but I can tell you this isn't her account. This is probably just a fan or whatever. Well, oh well, I'm going to follow it. Boom, followed, right? See how I just followed that? You can look at the account first if you want to. Reasons to Cry. The Hunger Games is almost over, right? The series is ending, I guess, this November. Let's check out this person's account real quick. Yeah, I'm going to follow it, and not only am I going to follow it, I'm going to retweet that, okay? So here's a little retweet button right here. I'm going to say, I couldn't agree more. Sad face, right? Tweet, okay? Retweeted. Now, why did I do that? You want to get on here and start being social right away. Don't talk about, I'm not going to start talking about my pins and trying to sell products. I'm just going to get on here and make comments and socialize a little bit. Teen.com, I guess, is what this is. I'll click on the, and you can tell how prominent a Twitter account usually is by how many tweets they do, right? This one has 61.7 thousand. How many followers are on there? 24.8 following, and then they've got 118,000 followers. So I'm going to follow them, okay? Because they could be an influencer. Because guess what? Who's my customer, guys? They're teens usually, teens, young adults, right? Early teens. Those are the fans of this franchise. So yeah, I'm going to follow Teen.com, and I can even reply back to this, right? You see the little reply button I was able to hit there? Okay, it says there's nothing you can do to prep yourself for these Hunger Games moments. I'm going to say I can't wait for the next movie to come out. And if I follow it with a hashtag Hunger Games, hashtag Mockingjay pin, that's going to help it get found that much more. Now, why hashtags real quick, guys? We've talked about this before. Why would I hashtag both of those things right there? Yeah. Visibility. Yeah, Catherine, searchability. I basically classified that post. If somebody searches hashtag Hunger Games or hashtag Mockingjay pin, that tweet will come out. So that's going to help me with exposure. Remember, I don't have very many followers right now, so I've got to get on and interact and find some people that'll hopefully follow me. So really, the goal here, we're going to start following people for a few different reasons. Number one, if we're not following anybody, I have nobody on my news feed at home. So if I go to my home page right here in Twitter, if I'm not following any of these people, there's nothing showing up in my news feed. And then who do I interact with, right? So the people that I follow are now showing up on my news feed here. And I can, right? I can come in here and interact with people. Okay, these are all people I follow. Okay, all people, and these people are all related to my niche for sure. They're not random people. Again, I'm not following as my business. I'm not following sports people, unless I'm selling sports stuff. I'm not following stuff that's in my own interest. I'm following whatever is suitable for my niche, right? Right, I'm going to get on here and I'm just going to say, good morning, nice to see you out on the Twitter world. Can't wait for the new movie. Okay. Whoops. Hashtag Hunger Games fans. Okay, tweet. Right? I might come in here and just interact with some of my own people that I'm already following. Okay, so let's go back. Let's look for more of my people. Now, specifically, guys, you know that I sell these pins, right? Well, I'm going to look up. Mockingjay pin. Okay, I know there's going to be people out here that are talking about it. Okay, so 2 minutes ago, Angela said, just remember Juliet wore a Mockingjay pin during the finale of The Voice. Okay, I'm going to say, really? I didn't notice that at all. I'll have to check it out. Is it on YouTube that I can see it? Question mark, right? Boom, just interacted with that person. Now, what do I know about that person? Is that person a potential customer? Maybe. I know they're interested in the Mockingjay pin, kind of, right? I'm called MockingJayPinStore.com, so I'm assuming that's probably somebody that would be worth tweeting to. How about this? Wearing my Mockingjay pin to the Paper Towns premiere. There's a picture right there of it. I'm going to say, awesome. I love that style. Where did you get it? Now, when I'm tweeting these people, when I'm replying, okay, if they're on their Twitter account, or even if they're not on, they're going to get a notification right up here in this little notification section, and they're going to see it. And they'll probably get on and respond back to me. I probably did this for 10 minutes earlier today. Just got on here and just started to interact and respond and talk to people. And I got a whole bunch of people that responded back to me. Some followed. I got a few that decided to follow. A lot just interacted with me. Sometimes you have to earn followers, guys. You got to get on here quite a bit early on and really just interact with people. And that's kind of what I'm showing you how to do right now. If I've got 15 minutes and a little bit of non-productive time that I need to kill, you can hop onto Twitter and do this a little bit. Okay, let's keep going down. Okay, so words from Darren. Okay, I don't know who that is, just his Twitter account. Man in the takeaway just said, aren't you a bit old for that? Question mark. Meaning my Mockingjay pin. Who even asked you? Just give me my food. I'm going to say, that's hilarious. Who even says that? Be proud of your hashtag Mockingjay pin. Boom. Okay. He'll get a notification. These are people that have bought my product before. There's no doubt in my mind that these people are my customers. Now, it's not that I'm necessarily trying to get direct customers right now, although it wouldn't hurt. I bet some of these people will come over, check out my Twitter profile, and then maybe even go snoop around on my site. But I'm just trying to get follows. I'm trying to build my community and my rapport out there a little bit, okay? Let's keep going down. Let's see. Okay, I don't know who this is, Maddie Hicks. You can always look at their profile page, right, and just see their influence. So this has, she's fairly active, 2,200 tweets, following 95 people, has 203 followers. I'm going to respond back and say, hey, the better question is, why would you not be wearing your Mockingjay pin? Right? Okay? Tweet. Just now so you're kind of getting the idea, right? It's kind of a, I don't know. I think it's kind of fun to get on here and interact with people. Now you might think, oh, I'm not being authentic at all. Like I'm just doing this for followers. Well, I am being authentic. You don't want to get on here and sound like a robot as you're interacting with people and trying to build yourself up, build up your account, get followers, right? You'll never get followers. If I got on here and responded back and I said something really generic like, that's cool, check out my site at, and then I give them an address to my website. I mean, come on, you got to be authentic. You don't want to promote yourself at all right now, right? That's why you're doing this. In fact, there was a funny one earlier I found that I thought you guys would like. I don't know if it's here. You can see I've already favorited some of these. Oh, how about this one right here? You guys see this one? I need a better job so I can buy a solid gold Mockingjay pin. Now I might have some fun with this one and get a little more promotional. I'm gonna say, yeah. Apparently they recently came out with a solid gold one that's like $7,000, right? So for I guess for people who are rich and huge fans of this series, maybe that's in the card. They just barely came out with this thing. I'm gonna say, yeah. I've heard they're several $1,000s. We all need better jobs for that. Oh well, we sell them gold plated. Okay. That was a little promotional, right? I just said I just told her we sold them. In fact, there's been people on there. I don't know if I'll be able to find the tweet that I saw earlier, but somebody said, "Where can I buy a Mockingjay pin?" That was their tweet, right? So some teenager somewhere. Where can I buy my Mockingjay pin? Well, what do you think I did with that? I hopped right on and shamelessly just promoted myself. I said, "Hey, we sell them. $10 free shipping. Check it out." And I dropped my link. That's the exception, though. I think the majority of these should probably be less promotional, right? And I don't have a ratio for you. I've had a lot of my clients say, well, how many of my tweets and interactions should be just kind of fun and social versus promotional to the business? And I don't know what that number is, but I would argue maybe 10% of them, right? 10 or 15%. Most of your stuff should be non-promotional material, okay? And social, like we are right now. Now, if you notice up here, I've already got a notification, okay? Here's a notification up here. I'm going to click on it. Okay. Did somebody favorite one of mine? Oh, sorry, I missed it. I guess, you remember Angela a minute ago that I tweeted at? She tweeted back. She says, there's definitely an interview where she talks about wearing it, but here's the photo. There we go. This person tweeted me right back. So I'm going to favorite that tweet. Okay. And I'm going to respond back to that. That was nice, right? That person got right back to me and gave me a photo of what I asked about. That's pretty cool, right? Did you guys see the conversation earlier? Remember this? She said, just remember Juliet wore a Mockingjay pin during the finale of The Voice. And then I said, really? I didn't notice that at all. I'll have to check it out. Is it on YouTube? That I can see it. That's a typo. Oh, well. And then she says, there's definitely an interview, so she gives me the picture. That's cool, right? So I favorited that. Right? Now, I'm not going to promote myself still, right? I'll probably follow this person if I haven't already. I'm going to go ahead and follow Angela here. Okay? I just hit follow. She's pretty active, 12,000 tweets, 400 following, 400 followers. Okay, so I'm following her now. She's going to get a notification that I'm following her. And because we had this little bit of interaction, there's a chance I get a follow back, right? Now, how important is she? I don't know. I mean, she's somebody who likes the series. I mean, in theory, if I could work on this every week and just slowly build up my account to where I've got a whole ton of followers of people that like the series, I mean, if, you know, I've got thousands of those followers, you guys can imagine the next time I do hop on and post a big sale that I'm giving 40% off everything in my store, I'm going to get some interest from these people, right? Like, this is really my target audience. So just, I mean, don't try to build generic followers. Try to build followers that are related and in your niche. Those are the kind of followers that you want. And this is partly the process that I would go through to do it. Now, once you do this, and I would do this a bunch, be consistent. You know, I'm not asking you guys to spend hours on this, although I guess you could. You know, maybe spend 15 minutes a day for a while and test this out. Go on there and interact. Do what I'm doing right now. Follow people. interact with people, tweet at people, okay? These people that are interested in things that are in my niche. Search Twitter right here, looking for stuff related, okay? And then just get social, favorite people's tweets, right? These things are all going to come up in their notifications, and people are going to start getting back to you. That's how you slowly and methodically build up a good network to start with, okay? That would be my first thing that I would do. Okay, so let's go back to our, does that make sense so far, guys? Let me make sure I haven't missed any questions here. You guys on with me? Does that make sense why we would want to do that? I promise it seems like a little bit of a waste of time. You'll be sitting there thinking, I'm trying to promote my business right now, and instead I'm on Twitter just sort of making small talk with people and socializing. Well, it's all for a greater purpose. Done consistently and done well over time can yield followers in your niche, and that's what we're looking to do, okay? All right, so let's see what you guys have said. Okay, so Catherine, you said I've mostly followed bloggers and avoid followers with stores because I don't want competition. What's your take about following people with stores? I would follow my competition initially. Maybe not long term, Catherine, but I would follow them initially to see what they do on Twitter, to watch them. They've been on Twitter in the industry longer than you have. I would watch what they do, what they share, what actually gets interest. You can learn a lot from your competition. You're going to have some competition that's good at Twitter, and then you're going to have competition out there that's really, really bad. And when I say really bad, I mean like they tweet twice a day, and the only thing they tweet are advertisements. They never share anything that's shareable and interesting. Twitter's not a place just to advertise for businesses. That's not what this is all about. 10% of the time, maybe, but the rest of the time needs to be more social for sure. You don't have to hashtag every comment, Cindy. Like, I try not to overdo it on hashtags. I don't know if you guys are very familiar with social media. You see some people that hashtag everything. It gets a little annoying. So, you might hashtag a few things in some posts and nothing in others. You don't have to hashtag every post. Definitely not. Yeah, I would say so, Kirk. I mean, it's just another marketing strategy. You can treat it like blog commenting a little bit. I think that's fair. Yeah, just make sure you're authentic in everything you do. Don't sound robotic. Be genuine about your comments, right? Share your opinions. Disagree with people. Agree with people. I mean, be a real person. You're not a robot doing this. I don't know the average age, Matt, of Twitter users. I'm sure that information is out there, but I'm going to guess. I mean, it's a younger demographic for sure, right? I don't know what the average would be. 30s maybe, late 20s, mid 30s. I would guess mid 30s probably. It's a younger demographic for sure. So what do hashtags mean? So a hashtag, Diana, is a way to classify something on Twitter, okay? So, for example, if I want to go to Twitter and search for something, I can do hashtag Mockingjay Pin. Okay, it's all got to be one word. And then what it does is it searches Twitter for anything that has recently had a hashtag for that. It's a way to classify the tweet. Now you see who's showing up here at the top. Well, that's me, right? Because I did a whole bunch of hashtags for Mockingjay Pin just barely. So I show up there, and it's also clickable. So if I click, no, I should edit that. I spelled that wrong. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Hunger Games right here. That hashtag, if I click on that, that'll bring up everybody recently who's been tweeting about Hunger Games, okay? So it's a way to just find similar things, okay? I'm going to follow this person. Anything that's related to Hunger Games I'm following right now. And a quick way to follow is just right here. Follow. 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 They actually have a limit though to the number of times you can follow people in a day. I think it's something crazy like 1,000 or something. So, I mean, you can follow really as many people as you want. Follow, follow, follow. You just don't, I mean, you should probably look at some of these profiles before you follow people, but get on here and interact, etc. So that, anyway, does that make sense, Diana? It's a way to categorize, essentially. So if you want to unfollow somebody, it's usually pretty easy. I'm going to go back to my profile right here. And I am going to look at my following, which I've got 47. And then here's where I can unfollow. Okay? Unfollow. Unfollow. See that? Pretty easy to do. Okay, good. Okay, so step 2. So we said step 1 here is build your network. There's other things that we can do to build that network, but that's a great way to start. Find your people out there, okay? I could even go to Google. If I'm looking for bloggers right now, I could go to Hunger Games blogger. I could just do a Google search for that. See if I can't find some Hunger Games blogs out there. Okay. This looks like a potential blogger. Not really related, though. This is a Hunger Games blog. It's in French. But I'm going to get on here. I'm going to look to see if they've got a Twitter account anywhere. Yep. Look for the Twitter icon. I'm going to click on that. Yep, here they are right here. I'm going to follow that person. Okay, and I might send a tweet to them right here. See that option right here? It says tweet to Hunger Games France. I need to, that sounds pretty generic, doesn't it? I just found your blog and came over to your Twitter profile. Great stuff. Let me comment on something on the blog. I know, I mean, it's a French Twitter account, right? So I'm talking to them in English right now, but I'm gonna guess maybe they speak some English, right? I guess in theory I could come over to Google Translate and I could get that translated over. I'm gonna say, did you see the new trailer? Or I'll say new video today. I can't wait. Okay. I can tweet at them like that in English. Okay. You can also come over, I don't know if you guys have ever done this before, but google.com, and you can type in, if you ever run up against a different language, type in English to French. And I could come over here and I can put in this text right here. That gives me the French version. I could copy that. There's what I just said in French. Come over here and I could hit them up. Ah, too long. I'll just do it in French then. Oh, it's too long in French, darn it. I'll just have to put a couple of things. There we go. See? Tweet it. I just tweeted in French. There you go. So find bloggers, right? Find influencers. That's not really a great example because they're French, but I could spend some time in Google right now and find plenty of Hunger Games bloggers and try to follow them on Twitter. I'm looking for people who've got a following, who've got a network that I can start networking with a little bit, okay? All right, so I've been trying to get to this for a while now. Let me go back to where I was. So we talked about build a network, number 1. All right, let's go to number 2. We want to share great content, okay? Share great content, and in parentheses, I'm going to say, don't promote yourself. So what I mean by great content would be, like for example, the second part of the new trailer for the movie came out today, and I found a video to a link on that, and I shared it on Twitter. Or maybe I find this great picture out there online somewhere, I could go post it on Twitter, right, that's related to the Hunger Games. Maybe I just recently wrote a really awesome blog. I've got a blog on my website, and maybe it's something, it's not promotional, it's just something about the Hunger Games franchise that's really interesting. Maybe I've got some interesting stats in my blog, whatever. I can post my own blogs, because that's not in-your-face promotion, right? You want to share good stuff, cool stuff, right? Stuff that people are going to find interesting in your network of followers. And it can't be, it can't be, I shouldn't say that. It generally shouldn't be unrelated. This should all be niche-related stuff. Because after all, the people who are following me, more often than not, they're going to be Hunger Games people. They're going to be fans of the franchise. I want to cater to those people. If I get tweeting stuff that's unrelated, stuff that I like, gardening, sports stuff, right? Internet marketing stuff, none of that stuff matters. I'm going to lose followers that way. So stay on point. Share great content. And we said earlier, maybe follow that 10% rule, okay? So you guys saw, I'm going to say, promote yourself, okay? When we'll put 10% in parentheses. So before we get to that, when you share great content, just as a recap to it, when you go to Twitter, come in here, you can add a photo, right? If you find a photo that you feel like is worth sharing, share it. If you've got a really long, ugly link, right? Maybe, for example, let me go back to my site, mockingjpinstore.com. Let's find my blog here. Where'd it go? Oh, right here. Okay. This is kind of a long link right here. You see this up here? It's mockingjpinstore.com/buy-a-mockingjpin-Malaysia. Let's say I was tweeting about that. That almost took up, it took up a big portion of my characters right there. If you need to shorten up a URL, if you don't want this long, nasty-looking URL showing up, you can go to something called bit.ly.com. bit.ly.com. And I can paste my link right here and hit shorten. It's a link shortener, and it gives me this link right here. I can use this link in my tweet. It's much cleaner, and it still works. Okay, people do that all the time. If you've got a long, scary, nasty-looking URL that you're trying to put there, go to bit.ly.com, bit.ly.com. You can shorten it up, and then you can use that. Post it in your comment, or anything for that matter. If you ever need to shorten a URL, that's a good way to do it. So, how much should you share, guys? Like, I don't know. If you're going to be active on Twitter, maybe share something once a day. Maybe a couple times a week, 3-4 times a week. I mean, it just depends. What's interesting is you're going to find over time how valuable Twitter is for the business. I think it can be valuable for any business. It's probably going to be more valuable for some above others. I know it's valuable for this niche just because Twitter, it's a younger demographic. There's a ton of people out there that are interested in my niche. I can find those people on Twitter real easily. It's tougher if you're in something a little more generic, but you can still use it. You can still find people for sure. Okay, so if you're promoting yourself, I said 10% of the time, and you can promote different things. What do you promote? Promote your own blog post. Promote your own product pages or sales. I might come in here. I've got these gold pins. Actually, we're trying to get rid of a bunch of our earrings that are in stock. Here's some Mockingjay earrings right here. We sell them for $13.99. I could post this. Where's my Twitter page? Here it is. I could post this right here. Huge sale. Mockingjay earrings. And I might hashtag this Mockingjay. Okay. Hashtag it. Put the little pound symbol in front of it. For $13.99 and free shipping. Buy them while supplies last. Boom. There's the link right there. Okay. Tweet that out. And there you go. Now, it might have been a better tweet if I would have added a picture, right? So what I probably should have done is I should have saved this picture here, right? Right-click, save that to my computer, and uploaded that to the tweet so it's got more interest. Because right now, my tweet's a little boring, right? It's just a bunch of text right here. Although it does stand out some, you know, it's not great. I should add a picture there if at all possible. Okay, got another notification. Somebody responded back to me. Kaylee Dutton here. Okay. That's the person I asked where she got her Mockingjay pin. Comic-Con. Oh, cool. Looks nice. Tweet. Okay. Get those notifications, tweet back, be social. Okay. I could have been a little more social than that. I could have been like, oh, wow, which Comic-Con? Right? Did the Hunger Games have an exhibit there? Were any of the stars there? Like, you could actually start a little conversation, but, you know, I'll leave that up to you guys. Okay. So just let's look through some comments real quick, and then we'll probably finish up. We've been going a little long, guys. Sorry to keep you. Huh, that's funny, Laura. Laura says, you definitely want to check profiles because I've had some weirdos try to follow me. Even a hotel trying to... Wait, what do you mean there? Like trying to follow your husband? Oh, hit on. Sorry, I didn't read that. Even a hotel trying to hit on my husband. Yeah, there's... it's true. There's maybe some creepy people out there. Oh, a girl trying to hit on my husband. Got it, Laura. Got it. I see you clarified that for me. Yeah, so yeah, you might get some odd people following you. The nice thing is though, if somebody follows you, that's fine, right? Because they're just going to see your updates. You don't have to follow them. It's okay if they follow you. But if somebody direct messages you or something, you don't have to respond back if you don't want to, especially if it gets a little weird, right, Laura? Yes, agreed, Catherine. Agreed. I'm sure Catherine says be careful because Google Translation is very literal and may not be grammatically correct. Oh, I don't doubt that at all. Yeah, but if you need a quick and dirty, like I got to translate my English into Spanish right now, you might sound a little bad, but you'll be okay probably. How do you get the rights to sell Hunger Games? That is a trade secret that I won't be sharing, unfortunately, Matt. That's our business. So I won't be sharing that with you, but I can talk to you about that in general for other brands for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, Jolene says Twitter kind of scares me still. I think I can do this, but Twitter scares me. I guess if you're a little more of an introvert, you're not as social, right? You're not the type of person that would get on and share and just start up a conversation with a random person. I can see how that might be a little challenging for you. But it's a lot easier when you're behind your computer screen, right? And you can think about what you're typing in, and you know, I think a lot of you guys will enjoy it a whole lot more than you think once you get involved. Now, once over time you've built up a pretty good following, right? I've got 11 followers. I'm not a very strong account, but if I continue to do this for a while, socialize, work to build a network, right? This account could be really useful to me. It's not going to do much now, but it could be very useful to me if I keep this up. Okay. Yeah, I mean, no difference for Robert. You bring up something like pet supplies, for example. How would you do this for pet supplies? Well, I think the first thing I would do is I would probably go out, just like we talked about in our notes here. I would go looking for influencers in the pet industry, right? So big time bloggers that do a lot of pet blogging, TV shows, people who star in reality TV shows that have pets on them, right? There's a lot of famous pet TV shows out there, even pet movies, right? Or you could even, I mean, you can find people who love their pets pretty easily, right? You could do hashtag I love my dog, and I'll bet you find a whole lot of people posting dog stuff, right? Here you go. I mean, I just came up with that hashtag off the top of my head. I love my pet, right? And you could find people that hashtag that. You're going to find pet lovers in a second that are posting pictures of their pets and their dogs, and you know what I mean? Like, you'll have no problem whatsoever if you were in the pet industry doing this. And I would say that for anything. I mean, if you were in something like the outdoor industry or in jewelry or whatever, you're going to find people. It's going to be a little different depending on your industry, but you can find those people. So build that network, and then you should probably start sharing some things right away, though. So when somebody looks at your Twitter account, they don't see a totally empty account, right? So get on there and probably share some things right off the bat. Have some information on your Twitter account, and then start building your network. Okay. Now these are not the only strategies on Twitter. There's paid advertising we haven't talked about. There's other ways to gain followers. There's a lot more we can do. This right here is the basics of starting out your business account. You got to do this stuff before you do anything else. Yeah, yes, Robert, and like Animal Planet, something like that, for sure. Find those influencers first. Because you know what's cool? If you can interact with an influencer who's got, you know, thousands of followers out there, and you could interact and maybe build some rapport and get that person to retweet something that you tweeted out that goes out to all their thousands of people that follow them. That's where Twitter gets exciting, right? If I can network with someone who's got some serious power on Twitter and then retweet some of my stuff, right? That could turn into a huge slew of traffic. And I find when I do this on a regular basis, I see a slew of traffic come back to my site because I've got my profile page here, and remember, I've got my link right here. I could guarantee if we went into my Google Analytics right now, just from doing a little work on it today in preparation for our webinar, I probably got some followers already. Some people have come over to my site. I know I've got new followers. I didn't have 11 at the start of the day. I had like 8 or something. So I've got 3 new followers. I probably got a little bit of traffic to my site, and I'm starting to build my account. Okay. All right. So I'm going to stop talking to you guys. I think that's plenty for today. I've got some more Twitter stuff we're going to be doing. I don't know if we'll do it next week. We'll see. I'll keep you guys posted, but we will be having the presentation next week, same time, same place. So come on over. Let's do it again, and we will see all of you guys next time.